All righty, welcome back to the Onebar and Lups show. I am Lups here with Onebar this evening, and we are going to go back in time a little bit, go back 5 years, and look at Rick Spielman's draft history, kind of look at how he's done, kind of give him an overall assessment on everything, and to learn about the future. First, we must go back to the past.
Yes, we know Rick Spielman has hit on some very good players over the last handful of years, but he's also missed on some players. So we're going to look and see how he's done over the last 5 years, because it is a what have you done for me lately
kind of league.
Thank you for finishing that. I appreciate that.
I know you froze. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe it was my internet. It wasn't.
No, we're not going to go trying to figure out how to say it.
Yeah.
Before we do that, subscribe, like the videos. Remember, hashtag sauce when we get to 2,500 subscribers for a chance to win that beautiful hand-signed print from Jimmy Klein saucer. I'd show it to you, but it's over there and I'm too lazy.
Hell yeah.
Trust me, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is something. It's a thing of glory. It's a thing of beauty. It'll be the centerpiece of your entire living room if you get it framed.
Yeah, and we already got a handful of hashtag sauces, so get them in there. More the better. Better chance of winning.
Before we get into this, what is your favorite type of sauce? Is it apple? Is it like tomato sauce? What is it?
No, it's easy. That's barbecue.
Yeah. I don't like barbecue sauce and quesadillas. That's it.
Barbecue sauce. It's delicious. Syrup, is that a sauce? Syrup's good.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is technically a sauce, but
thank you.
We'll get in that in a future episode. Right now, we're not going to go through every draft pick. Everybody knows the drafts. Let's just go through the highs and lows, and then I'm going to kind of rank them at the end, and then see if Onebar agrees or disagrees with what I came up with. All right, let's go back to 2016.
Hey, can I make one quick note?
Yeah.
So we're doing the last 5 years. So we miss out on that wonderful, beautiful 2015 draft class that Spielman put together with Kendricks, Hunter, Diggs, Trey Waynes. So I was really surprised looking at the last 5 years. He hasn't been overly fantastic. So let's, all right, continue. I just want to say that.
I appreciate that. That's great. Good. So let's look at the highs from the 2016 draft. There wasn't many. I guess Mackenzie Alexander did turn out to be a high after a couple. He looked like he was on the verge of a bust. Came through, played pretty damn well. Stephen Weatherly, I would call him a high. You may not like the next one, J-Ron Curse, but he was a pretty solid player there for a while when the Vikings actually used him. Then I'm going to go ahead and call David Morgan a high there. And let's just, if those are the highs of your draft, you know your draft isn't great. Let's just put that out there. The lows, obviously, Laquan Treadwell in round 1, Willie Beavers in round 4, Cantrell Brothers, and Moritz Boehringer were all picks that just did not pan out.
Yeah, I think you can wrap up 2016 by basically mentioning Laquan Treadwell. When the pick was made, I think a lot of people more people than not were excited about the pick. Just didn't pan out. But this draft class was, it's damn near a complete disaster. I'm sorry. Alexander, yeah, it took him a couple of years, but 2016 was one to forget for Spielman.
Yeah, it really was. And no matter how you shake that out, you missed your first pick as bad as that was. Treadwell was horrible. All you can do is move on. Let's do that. Let's move on to 2017. Didn't have a first-round pick. The first-round pick went to Sam Bradford, which I think led the Vikings to an 8-8 record. But obviously there were some highs here. Delvin Cook is the big high. You get him in round 2, one of the best running backs in the NFL. I'm going to go ahead and call Ben Gideon because he was solid. He got a lot of production out of him over that 4th-round pick. Fidio Denebo, I don't think his story's over yet. But then you got some pretty bad lows here. Pat Elflein, Jaleel Johnson, who just could not figure it out. Rodney Adams, Bucky Hodges, and Jack Taco. Don't forget him.
I was counting how many picks. When you have 11 picks, Dalvin Cook was beautiful. You can't complain about this draft class. The fact that we just got Dalvin Cook out of 11 picks is a win, and it gets a good grade. But the amount of misses, 2017 and 2016 are fairly gross in my book. Dalvin Cook was a gimme. He was there. He shouldn't have been there. We took him.
Yeah, I actually would have took Cook with the pick we traded to get Bradford. So that we got him in round 2 to me was a complete surprise and a slam dunk on a home run. So I was so ecstatic. I think we were there. We held hands. It was beautiful.
We did. But when you look at these guys, this was only 4 years ago, and there's not many of these people in the league anymore. That's not great.
That's not great. And you want to talk about not great? Let's go to 2018.
We're off to a real shit start here. 16, 17, and 18 will be gross as well. Just a spoiler alert.
Yeah, we really are. In 18, the lows, first round pick Mike Hughes just can't stay healthy. Who knows what his future is? If there is a future for him with the Vikings moving forward, we don't know that yet. Jalen Holmes was a fourth round pick. I think he's got like one career sack, just has not put it together. Then Daniel Carlson, the kicker that we gave up on too soon, he turned out to be a pretty damn good kicker, but for the Vikings, they were not patient enough with him. They cut the cord a little early on that one. There were some highs though. Brian O'Neill, arguably one of the best right tackles in the NFL, got him in round 2. And Tyler Conklin, your boy from the start. I'm going to give you credit on that one. He's starting to emerge as a receiving threat in the Vikings offense, and I expect a pretty big role from him next year. So, yeah, again, but looks like to me, just glancing at this, the lows outrank the highs on this class.
Yeah, and so far through the first 3, round 2 seems to be our bread and butter. Mackenzie Alexander, Dalvin Cook, and Brian O'Neill.
Yeah.
Other than that, yes, Conklin was a hit. But even this draft class in 2018, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I want to be on the record. I was never a fan of the Mike Hughes pick, so I'm just going to put that out there right now. But I do want to say I did want Martin Rucker a couple years ago.
Yeah, you did. That was a lot of years ago. All right, 2019. I think we did a little bit better in 2019.
Yeah, and again, it's still early, so maybe in a couple of years we'll think differently about some of these, but right now early highs are Garrett Bradbury, Irv Smith Jr., Alexander Madison, 3 key contributors on the Vikings offense. There is some lows though. Drew Samia, who I'm not giving up on yet, but he is pretty damn bad last year. Cameron Smith, even before his heart issues, he was not doing much of anything for the Vikings. 7th round receiver Dylan Mitchell just couldn't figure it out. And then long snapper Austin Cutting, after a decent rookie year, he was replaced this year, so that's not great.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of Cutting. I mean, it's not great that we're talking about the last pick and he's a long snapper, but I don't think we've seen the last of him. But I think Boyd was good value. 7th round pick, and in our first 3, I think we really, really hit on. So I think 2019. In a year or 2 from now, we're going to really be looking back at this was fantastic. I think Irv Smith has just it hasn't even hit the cusp of what he's going to bring to the table.
Oh my God. All right, let's go to 2020 again. These other classes, you got a couple years worth of material to look at, evidence to look at. Right now, we just have 1 year to go off of with these guys, but highs, Justin Jefferson. I mean, that is a once in a decade kind of a pick. I don't think we've picked a player like Justin Jefferson since Adrian Peterson back in 2007. Just an extreme talent. You only hope he doesn't go the route of Michael Clayton and just disappear.
Jesus, why would you say that?
That's my fear.
Michael Clayton.
Great first year and nothing afterwards. You got Jeff Gladney, who I'm still a big fan of. Cameron Dancer, Ezra Cleveland, DJ Wanham. Those are the, I can think right now the core of this draft class. To me, the low, obviously, is KJ Osborne. Troy Dye wasn't very impressive either. James Lynch, your boy, the Ginger Snap. And then Brian Cole, I know he's a 7th round pick, but he didn't even make it till like the 20th day of August. So horrible choice there.
Yeah, this draft class gets me pretty damn excited. You hit on all the high notes. You hate KJ Osborne more than anything in the world. It's very clear.
Yeah.
I think in a couple of years, again, like the 2019, I think 2019 and 2020, we really nailed them. And, that's what happens when you have 47 picks. You're going to hit some big ones. And I think we did. I think 2016, 2017, 2018 were damn near disgusting. Very bad draft class. When you got Mike Hughes and Laquan Treadwell as your first rounders, and they're pretty much non-existent as an issue. But I think the last 2 helped Spielman. I still think Spielman is very underrated when it comes to the draft. I think he is very good at finding diamonds in the rough. But those couple of years were gross.
Yeah, they were. And I'm surprising with all the comments we see on our videos, how many people don't like Rick Spielman, fire Zimmer shit. Honestly, other than a few picks here and there, and then maybe trading down when I think there's talent he should take, I've been pretty happy with Rick Spielman as our GM. So a lot better than the Fran Foley year that we had. That was
God.
was not great.
That's Francis to you, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Francis. All right, so I went ahead and ranked these. Let's see if you agree or disagree. I went from best to worst. I don't know. I went worst to best. I'm sorry. So coming
Worst
at 5,
best. All right, what do you got?
As the worst class, number 5, I put the 2016 class.
Yeah, that's the worst. Absolutely.
The second worst one I did was 2018 with the Mike Hughes fiasco. We'll see if you agree or not. Maybe you guys think that in. I don't know.
No, I don't have to think that in. That's I agree.
2017 at 3.
Yep.
And then I put 2020 at 2 and 2019 at 1.
No, though I think 2017, the fact that we got Dalvin Cook out of that goes at least second, but it's close. So I'll give you a pass. I think you're pretty close.
And the reason I didn't put 2020 at 1 is just because you only had 1 year to go off of. Some guys could regress, and 2019 you got 2 years, and I think there's 3 pretty key contributors there. So
yeah. So I mean, overall, I think the last 5 years has been just okay. Like I said, it's not like we got Dalvin Cook as some hidden sleeper in round 4. He shouldn't have been on the board. I bet Spielman just blew his load and instantly took him. So I'm glad Spielman took him, but that was a gimme. And Brian O'Neill was a great find. That was a little bit of a surprising pick. Same with Irv Smith. So he's got some good picks that he just took. So I like you said, Spielman's underrated. He doesn't get as much love as he should when it comes to the draft. And in 2021, he's going to freaking nail it.
Well, the thing too, he's been here since what, 2007, 2008? When did he take over?
Seems like about 1983.
Well, and that's what I worry is that it's been 10, 15, 20 years. It's been 13 years, 14 years now. I mean, he haven't got the Super Bowl yet. And I do like the players he's brought in for the most part. You look at the last 5 years, I would say he's done a pretty damn good job. I'm going to go ahead and give him a B grade at least. But we haven't gotten the Super Bowl. We can't seem to make that jump to the at least get through the NFC title game. So do you make a change? I mean, is that where we're looking here? Is that if it came down to keeping Zimmer, keeping Spielman, who would you go with?
Oh, I'm keeping Spielman. It's easy. That's an easy one for me. I think Spielman has done a damn good job. And if we had a different coach, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, if and when we move on from Spielman, I think the whole regime is going to change. And I think Spielman could still stay exactly where he's at and do very good. He's very underrated GM. People piss and moan about him all the time. Don't get it. He's done nothing. I mean, he's a hell of a GM. Look at some of these other GMs out there. They're dog shit. And they're hiring a GM every 3 years. I love the stability.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that. Zimmer, what worries me is just I don't like the fact that he doesn't players struggling. He doesn't pull them out. He just keeps putting them out there, expecting
never
different
pull
results.
out.
Yeah. Well, okay. And then this is big games. His teams don't seem to show up, and that concerns me too. So I would keep the GM over that. If you are going to keep one, but I do have a feeling if one goes, I think they both go. I just think the ownership would make a complete change, whether we agree with it or not. But you have an overall grade for Spielman's last 5 drafts. What are you thinking?
I give it I'm like you said, I'm excited about the 2020. It's only been 1 year, so I can't put too much into that. But overall, I'm honestly gonna give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C just because Brian O'Neill was huge. Dalvin Cook was huge, but like I already hit it. Dalvin Cook shouldn't have been there, and Brian O'Neill was a great find. But other than that, there's tons of misses there. We suck at the mid to late round picks.
Yeah, you would hope. What pissed me off about last year is the Vikings passing on Tyler Johnson late. You should know just from him playing in your backyard how good of a talent he is, and why are you not taking him when you have a shot to do that? And the fact they didn't take a guard, last year really still chaps my ass.
I think they didn't take a guard because they realized they suck at taking guards. They're not good at it.
Maybe that's what it was.
They need to pony up in free agency and get a guard. They can't find a guard in the draft. They don't even try to find a quarterback in the draft. There's just clear positions. They just stay away from.
Well, And maybe, well, hopefully it changes. Let's just hope we can find that guard.
2021, baby.
Yeah, I feel you. I think it's gonna be a good, hell of a draft. And I don't think we're gonna end up picking at 14. That's just my initial gut right now.
Spoiler.
But we'll get into that a little bit more. All right, so that's it. That is our evaluation of Rick Spielman's last 5 drafts. C for you, B for me. Hits and misses all over the board, but some pretty damn good players that he did bring in. So as you prepare for the 2021 draft, keep doing those mocks. And remember this, #sauce. But also remember this, lightning is hotter than the surface of the sun.